So, okay class, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening sa inyo. So, amo ni siya ang second video nga ginhimo ko for our subject in managerial economics. So, mauna ko danay sa production economics. So, production economics. So, we have here the production function. So, what is this production function? So, this indicates the highest output that a firm can produce for every specified combination of inputs given the state of technology. So, diri mo makita sa production function ang kung ano ang imo nga highest level of output nga ma-produce with this combination of inputs. So, we have here the production function, di ba may inputs kita sa economics nga natun-an nyo naman sa inyo nga economics 1 or sa inyo applied economics. So we have, there are 4 types of inputs. We have capital, labor, entrepreneurship, and ano pa gito ang isa? Basta may isa pa gid. So, 4 na sila. So, ang atong production function, we have here the quantity and the function of capital, labor, entrepreneurship, and so on. So, ano man ang inyong input sa inyong production. So, goods, okay na ta sa production function, sa definition of it, kung anong iya nga formula. So, let's go to the 2 types of production function. So, we have short-run production function and long-run production function. But for this video, we'll discuss short-run production function ng danay because mahimo lang ko ya separate video about long-run production function. So we have a short-run production function. So in this production function, one factor of production is variable and all others are fixed. So when we speak of short-run production function, so sa imo to nga 4 ka inputs, you have one or more inputs that are fixed and the rest are variable. Di pwede nga tanan fixed and hindi tanan pwede variable. Kay kung tanan variable, malong run na siya karon. So, short run, ang inyo nga i-remember is when we speak of short run production function, one or all and one variable is fixed or 2 basta hindi tanan and the rest are variable. So it is a time period which is not enough to make change in all inputs. That is why may isa nga fixed or even duwa basta hindi sila tanan fixed. In this level of production can be changed by changing the variable factor. So the only input that you can change is the variable. Since amo na iyang halan variable, pwede siya ma-change. All others are fixed. So kadto ta di sa aton nga akat kamo klase inyo module production with one variable input. So mayari ta di. So supposing amo ni ang aton nga amount of labor, sundan nyo lang class akong cursor class ha kay hindi ko ni siya makopy sa aton nga whiteboard, so hindi ko siya makuritan. So sundan nyo lang ang aton nga cursor. So we have here the amount of labor. So makita nyo class, input ni siya si labor, input. So makita nyo nga nag-change si labor. That means si labor is a variable input. So let's go naman here sa amount of capital. So we have here 10, 10, 10. Makita nyo nga wala sa nag-change. So this is a fixed input. So muna nga one variable input. So muna siya no. So this is an example of a short run production function. So we have here the total output. So I'll explain nga 0 na di siya. So with the 0 amount of labor and 10 units of capital, you can produce 0 output. And if there is a 1 unit of labor, same unit of capital, you can produce 10 units of output. 2 units of labor, same unit of capital, you can produce 30 units of output. If you have 3 units of labor, then you can produce 60 and so on. So that's our total output. So wala tadaya may ginat multiply or divide. So total output is given. Given na sa mo na siya ang iyang level of output nga ma-produce with these units of input. So we have here the average product. Kung magkuha kita sang average product, it is a total input divided by the unit of labor or your variable input. So we have here total output of 10 divided by 1 unit of labor. So we can get an average product of 10. We have 30 units of output divided by 2 units of labor. We can get 15. 60 divide 3, 20. 80 divide 4, 20. And so on. No? Gets nyo class? Masunod nyo lang. That's the, paamo na siya magkuha sang average product. So, we have here the marginal product. When we speak of marginal product, amo ni siya ang units sang output nga gakadugang if magdugang ka sang another unit of your labor or your variable input. So, we have here marginal product. So, from 0, so add ka 1 unit of labor, so ma-1 siya. So, ang total output mo, ang nagdugang sa iya, so from 0, 0 man di output, magdugang ka 1 unit of labor, mahimo siya 10 units of output. So, your marginal product is from 0 to 10. So, you have a marginal product of 10. So, from 1 unit of input of labor, dugang ka isa, so it will become 2 units of labor. So, from 10, nga may 1 unit of labor ka, if mag 2 units of labor ka, ma 30, so you have a marginal product of 20. So from 10 to 30, so you have marginal product of 20. So kung 3 units of labor, so you have a total output of 60. So from 30 to 60, kinagdugang ka 1 unit of labor sa 2, so it becomes 3. So you have a marginal product of 30. So and so on. Amo na siya class ang magkuha sa marginal product and average product. So we have here an observation. So with additional workers, output Q increases, reaches maximum, and then decreases. So lantaw ta di sa atong total output. So we have a total output. What is its maximum? So we have here 112 amo niya maximum total output nga ma-produce with in what level of labor. So we have here, if we have 7 units and 8 units of labor, so we can produce 112 units of output, which is the maximum, and then decreases. So nag-decrease siya. So from 8, di ba 7 and 8 makaproduce sa maximum. However, kung magsigi pagid sa dugang labor, we can observe nga nag-decrease ang iya number of units nga ma-produce. So 108, magdugang pagid siya, mag 10 units of labor pagid siya, ma 100 na lang siya. Excuse me class. Ma 100 na lang siya. So makita nyo nga nag-decrease. May siya. The addition reaches the maximum and then decreases. So that's our first observation. So nag-reach siya maximum, then nag-decrease. So next observation, the average product of labor or output per worker increases and then decreases. So average product, adto ta sa average product. So same man. So 10, 15, 20, 20, 19, 18, 16, 14, 12, and 10. So nag-increase, then eventually nag-decrease. So we have here, ang pinakataas yung average product is ang 20. Then nag-decrease. So muna siyang formula sang average product, pero gin-explain ko na to kagina. So para intindihon nyo na lang, di na siya pag i-memorize. So kadto the marginal product of labor output of additional work increases rapidly initially and then decreases and becomes negative. So si marginal product, it increases rapidly. So 10, 20, 30, then nagbalik sa 20, 15, 13, 4, and eventually it becomes negative. So amo na nga aton mga observation sa aton nga production function if we have a variable input and a fixed input. So amo na siya sa short run. So if we graph, amo ni siya ang graph ni marginal product, no? Nag-increase siya rapidly, then eventually nag-decrease and then becomes negative. So may ara man nga si average product, nag-increase siya, then eventually nag-decrease man. So we have here the law of diminishing marginal return. So that explains the law of diminishing marginal return. So as the use of an input increases, a point will be reached at which the resulting additions to output decreases. So our example is our marginal product declines. Next is when the labor input is small, marginal product increases due to specialization. So ang explain today is if we have this number of workers, no? Labor input is small, so jutay sila. Marginal product increases due to specialization kay tungod nga jutay sila and there is a specialization. So si person number 1 sagad sa assembly, example lang niya, sagad sa assembly, si ano naman niya, si person number 2 sagad sa painting and so on, no? Then marginal product increases, damo sila gatsaka ang aton marginal product or nagataas ang unit of output nga nagakadugang for every unit of labor nga gakadugang man due to specialization kay tungod si person 1 sagad sa amo ni, so efficient sa pag-perform sa iyang obra. Si person 2 sagad sa amo naman ni kay efficient man sa paghimo sa amo ning obra and so on. So muna nga when the labor muna siya explanation. So when the labor input is small, so the marginal product increases due to specialization. However, when the labor input is large, marginal product decreases due to inefficiency. So kung tama naman kadamo ang tawo, usually ang matabo sina so we have may mindset man ang iban nga damo man maobraan, dili ko mayo mag-obra. So amo na the mindset. So maybe base makuha nyo man na sa inyo human behavior nga subject, basta ang the way I understand it, amo na siya, no? Kung tamaan ka damo sang tawo, do ang mga employees do la man gana kay ti damo man sang lubra may kaya nila, hindi lang ko may mag-effort, so you become inefficient. So can be used for long run decisions to evaluate trade-offs of different plant configurations. So assumes the quality of the variable input is constant in a constant technology and explains a declining marginal product and not necessarily a negative one. So we have here another yes, here. No? So si loss of returns, diyan taklas si loss of returns ano ni siya? Naga-refer ni siya, amo ni siyang naga-apply sa aton nga short run production function nga we have a fixed input and variable inputs. Basta combination of fixed input and variable input. Basta tanan, basta hindi siya tanan fixed, hindi siya tanan variable. No? So the relationship between the inputs and the output is in the process of production is clearly explained by the laws of returns or the law of variable proportions. Amo ni siyang nag-apply sa aton nga short run production function. So this law examines the production function with only one factor variable, keeping the quantities of the factors constant. So the laws of returns comprise of three phases. So we have the law of increasing returns, law of constant returns, and law of diminishing returns. So, kadto today class sa ato na table 5.1, no? So, this is an example. So, we can best illustrate these three stages of law of returns with the help of a model. Let us assume that a farmer has a fixed size of land, say 1 acre, and that he now applies gradually doses of variable factor, say ang iyang labor, in order to produce wheat. So we can now tabulate the results as follows. So we have here the fixed input to ni farmer. So he has a 1 acre of land. So ari siya ang iyang variable input, ang iyang labor. So with his 1 unit of labor, no? Sa 1 acre yang land, so fixed na saya. Kaya ara ta sa short run, di ani ma-change. So with this 1 unit of labor, he can produce 40 kilograms of wheat. And 2 units of labor, he can produce 95 units of wheat. 3 units of labor 160, 4 units of labor 230, 5 units 300, and so on. So magkuha ta sa aton average product. So we have total output divided by our units of labor. So 40 divide 1, 40, 95 divide 2, 47.5, and so on. So marginal product. So we have from 0 to 40. So 40. 40 to 95, we have 55. 95 to 160, 65, and so on. So as we can see, we have here the level or the phase of increasing returns. Balik ta di sa babaw. Basta kapyutan nyo lang daklas inyo nga nga module kay gina-explain ko na sa inyo. So if in any process of production, the factors of production are so combined that if the varying quantity of one factor is combined with fixed quantity of other factor, then there will be three tendencies. So amo to siya, si increasing returns, constant returns, diminishing returns. So firstly, in the beginning, as more and more units of variable factor, which is the labor, are added to the units of a fixed factor, ang acres of land yato, the additional output or marginal returns will go on increasing, no? So kadto ta sa marginal product. So we have here from 40 to 55 nag-increase to 65. So iyang increase from 40 to 55, we have 15 units nga increase sa marginal product. From 55 to 65, nag-increase by 10, no? Nag-increase by first nag-increase siya by 15, then nag-increase siya by 10. So ini nga phase is the increasing returns. Hindi ta makoloran. Koloran ta. Wait lang. WPS siya biklas mo. Hindi tayo ani kabalo mayo sang sang WPS. Wala ko siya na na word. Dali lang. Ay. Sige na lang mo na siya. So this phase is the law of increasing returns. So na siya no. Dali lang balik ta. Tsakto, the law of increasing returns applies. Secondly, if still more units of variable factor inputs are added to the units of a fixed factor, the additional output or marginal returns will remain constant. So, di ba, one unit of labor, 2 units of labor, ma-increase siya. Dugangan niya pag 1 unit ang 2, so 3 units of labor nang iya exert nga effort. mas 65, gindugangan niya pagid mas 70. So nag-increase. Kagindugangan niya pagid 5 units of labor yan, nag-same na lang. So diri na ma-apply si constant returns. So sige ang adugang sa iya units of labor. So nakalabot na siya nga nagparihos na ang iya nga marginal product. So same na lang ang units of increase sa iya nga marginal product. No? So amo to si the law of constant returns. Finally, if still more units of variable factors are fed into the process of production, then the additional output or marginal returns begins to decline. Thus, eventually, we have the operation of the law of diminishing returns. So we have here the constant returns, no? From 4 units, 5 units, same lang ang iya nga increase sa iya nga production. Sang sige pagidugang sang iya units of labor, nag-60 na lang iya marginal product. So naggamay na lang ang increase ang iya nga production, no? So we have here from 300 dirita ho sa constant nag 300 nag 360 na lang. So 60 na lang ang increase. Nagdugang pagid sa another unit of labor, nag 7, nag 40 na lang ang iya nga marginal product. So 40 na lang increase ang production niya. Then sige pagidugang, nag 10 na lang until nga sang sige ang adugang sang iya nga labor, wala na nag-increase ang iya nga production, pero ang iya nga effort gisige sa Japon dugang sa iya nga effort. So we have here ang phase ni is the diminishing returns. So dirita na makita ang 3 phases of loss of return in which amo ni siyang nag-apply sa aton nga short run production function, in which we have a fixed unit of input and we have a variable input, which is our labor. So amo ni siyang iyang itsura. We have a fixed input, we have here the variable input, the total production, the average product, marginal product, and iyang return. So amo ni sa iya nga continue ta 9 units, dugangan niya pagid ang iyang effort. So wala na nag-increase ang iyang production, no? Hasta nga dugangan niya pagid. So nag-negative na, nag-decrease na iyang production. So ang aton ni nga class, no? As managers in the future, no, muni nga managerial economics, no? Dirita mabalaan nga ano ang level sa input nga aton nga i-put into process, no? Ano nga level sang sang aton nga variable input nga aton exert or aton i-induce sa aton nga production process nga makakuha ta sa aton nga maximum nga number of product nga ma-produce. So amo na siyang ginastadihan tadi. So pareho sini. Ang sa akon lang siguro nag-decrease na di siya. Nag-decrease na ang number of units of marginal product. So sige exert nga effort. Kiti labor tawo ka lang, kakapoy ka, no? Kung sige ka nga effort, actually, ang aton nga output is naga-decrease man. Kiti gakakapoy man ta, kag hindi ta robot nga wala ta nagakakapoy, do mo na siya ang do ka explanation na di. So that is why sang sige nga dugang effort naga-decrease ang iyang ariho nag-decrease iya nga total production, iya nga marginal product, kay hindi na siya efficient, no? Amo na da sa class ang explanation sa aton nga short run production function. So, I hope nakaintindi ka mo sang aton nga klase subong. Ni-explain ko lang ang inyong module kung ano na dira. And I'll make another video about long run naman niya, long run production function. So, thank you class. Ang inyo himuon is ni para maintindihan niyo din yung module kahit kung kamo lang siguro hindi man gid nga super maintindihan niyo gid. So man gin-explain ko sa inyo and study man kamo sang pwede man kamo ka research man kung wala pa gid kamo naklaruhan sa akon nga explanation, you can search and even sa internet mangita man kamo da sa mga problems or questions with regards sa production function para much nga maintindihan nyo pagid. So thank you class. Have a nice day ahead. Kag God bless you all. Kag check nyo to sa Schoology ha. Play nyo tong video, ang link to kay para magtuon ka mo, may motivation man ka mo nga si Lord ara man sa inyo per mi nagaupod. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.